Thank you very much for joining our event. Good morning and good evening. My name is Lisa Mantius and I'm the Vice President of International Partnerships at Mitacs. And I'll be your MC for today. And it's my pleasure to welcome you to the signing ceremony between IC-IMPACTS and Mitacs. Thanks for joining as we celebrate the launch of a partnership that will foster engagement, strengthen the collaboration between India and Canada, and provide research exchange opportunities to some of the brightest minds from both countries. First, it's my great honor to introduce Elder Larry Grant from the Musicam Nation. Please join me in welcoming Elder Grant.
Thank you, Lisa. IC-IMPACTS Ayatlak Wanasqui, the Tenitanit Maswim. Lock the Sioenis, the Fulano, the Clotimilto, with Helixtok, the Finas, Amic Netten, push for E to E, the San Tamokud from Maswim. The Econis Sioenis, the Fulano, set it something need to swallow a Helix dollar. When I finish qualifying, going to see what's nala, the muck and it's almost for E to E, E, the gato, to now whale. I tap there with see ya, Tom. I want to say thank you for having me this morning. My name's Larry Grant from the Musqueam First Nation. Sayatlak is my Musqueam name. And our ancestor, Teopalanuk, was here to greet the first visitors to arrive under Captain Narvaez, the Spaniard, and the Englishman, Captain George Vancouver. And as our ancestor had done in the past, I do today, and raise my hands and welcome to all of you here on the traditional, ancestral, unceded lands of the Hunkaminam speaking Musqueam people, the lands that have never been surrendered and never been sold is where the University of British Columbia Vancouver campus is situated upon. And that's been really my pleasure to welcome our partnership with India and the University of British Columbia. It's a wonderful time to be able to recognize and welcome all of the international partners that work together with us here at the UBC. And I raise my hands again. I tsepewa siam nasyeya kalet quincy theatala jaswala pukui namat pui te kanawea. And that is our language of this land. So this is something that we try and maintain. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Elder Grant. That was really beautiful, and we're so honored to have you here. Thank you so much. Now it's my pleasure to invite His Excellency Ajay Bisharia, High Commissioner of India to Canada. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Very good morning to friends in Canada, and good evening to many friends I'm seeing on my screen in India. Delighted to be part of this very important milestone moment, and I want to thank and congratulate Dr. Nemi Banthia and Dr. Hepburn for their leadership for both IC-IMPACTS and Mitacs for getting together to create this partnership, which will create collaboration and research networks. I think the big picture in the India-Canada economic corridor is what we are talking about today, which is technology, its significance in creating innovative kind of organizations or innovative projects, as also startups. So I think IC-IMPACTS and the impact it's having on the ground has been very significant in creating networks which could produce results on the ground in terms of startups, that can actually, mark the future of the India-Canada relationship. I have been speaking about this for a while in the startup bridges that we have. The future really lies in the kind of innovation in technology and in the startups we can create. We are proud of the achievements that IC-IMPACTS has had. This is the only institutional collaborative mechanism we have in the technology corridor between the two governments. And I'm delighted that my colleagues from the Department of Science and Technology and Department of Biotechnology are also joining in today. But I think this is another milestone. This is an area where we need to create new partnerships, keep innovating, because the future really is in this area. I've had the pleasure of meeting a number of startups which are looking at this corridor, and given the ecosystems we have both in Canada and in India, I think this is a move in absolutely the right direction. So thank you very much for inviting me to the event, and congratulations once again to both IC-IMPACTS and Mitacs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. That was very kind words. We really appreciate knowing that you're a supporter of our efforts to strengthen the research ties between Canada and India. Thank you so much. Next, I would like to introduce Dr. John Hepburn, our CEO and Scientific Director at Mitacs. Today's special because, for the first time in 15 months, Dr. Hepburn is signing a partnership in person at the IC-IMPACTS office. So I just wanted to note that, which is a very momentous occasion for Mitacs. Thank you very much. Please go ahead, Dr. Hepburn.
Thank you, Lisa. And yes, we signed an agreement with CNRS this week, but that was obviously virtual. We were all on our little computer screen signing away. So this is a special occasion for many reasons. First of all, it's great to see, shall I say, longtime friends rather than old friends, Barge, on the screen and also in person. Nemi and I and Barge have known each other for a long time. IC-IMPACTS, of course, is coming up on 10 years old, not quite yet, but it started about 10 years ago with an announcement from the federal government that there was going to be funding for a Canada-India Research Center. And then President Toop commanded me as Vice President of Research to work with Nemi to make sure that UBC was a strong participant in what became the IC-IMPACT Center. And so much work ensued, led by Nemi, many trips to India, which I desperately miss. So I'm hoping, Mr. High Commissioner, that I can get back to India sometime soon. I remember many meetings with Barge and Nemi in India as we promoted the concept of IC-IMPACT with various government officials and community members in India. So I'm glad to see that IC-IMPACTS has become a spectacular success. And so I'm very happy to be signing this agreement with IC-IMPACTS. It's long overdue. It took quite a bit of work to get to this agreement, and I think it's a fabulous partnership. So Mitacs, of course, for those of you who don't know us, we've been around for more than 2 decades, and our business is promoting innovation, partnerships between the academic sector and industry, the academic sector and not-for-profit and community organizations. And so that sounds a lot like what IC-IMPACTS is all about. We drive our partnerships through student internships, and our partnerships also extend internationally. And in fact, again, a bit of history for those of you on the line, our very first international partner was India. I remember very well the first 17 students coming from India, from IITs in India, Global Link research interns who came to Canada to do research internships in initially BC University Labs, but of course, now, as Lisa well knows, she and her international team, we have partnerships in 22 countries. India is still one of our most important partners in the world. And literally thousands of Indian students have come to Canada. Students have come from Canada to India. It's been a very successful partnership over the past 15 or so years, I think. It's been a long time that we've partnered with international partners. The partnership with IC-IMPACTS, of course, extends this notion of science diplomacy and international cooperation. IC-IMPACTS is dedicated to creating partnerships not just between Canada and India, but between First Nations communities, or with First Nations communities, with industry, both in Canada and India, and of course, driven by students who go back and forth between the two countries, working on solutions to important societal problems like clean water, sustainable infrastructure, public health. And so through this agreement, we are going to contribute to supporting students moving from India to Canada and from Canada to India to work on these important projects. So I'm thrilled that we're able to do this. Hopefully we can do this for many, many years to come. It would be remiss of me to not thank the many, many people, first of all, who support both IC-IMPACTS and especially Mitacs, our government partners, our university partners, international partners, industry, communities. We rely on the generous support of all of these groups and organizations, as does IC-IMPACTS. And I thank the team, obviously Nemi, who's going to be signing with me, Feria Moya, I'm going to mess up your name, Feria, I apologize, Moya Yedi, who is here at IC-IMPACTS, of course, the Indian High Commission, Global Affairs Canada, and of course, Lisa and the Mitacs team, who you see on the line here. And all of these people have worked hard to make this agreement a reality. And so I'm happy to, again, strengthen our partnership with India, and especially happy to sign this agreement with IC-IMPACTS. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, John. I really echo your excitement. We've been working tirelessly on this really important agreement, and it's so wonderful to see it come to fruition today. Mitacs International Partnerships team is very proud to support this important collaboration with IC-IMPACTS. Now I'm delighted to welcome the remarks of Dr. Nemi Vanthia, CEO and Scientific Director of IC-IMPACTS, who is also signing this agreement in person alongside Dr. Hepburn today.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lisa. Your Excellency Ajay Basaria ji, President Ono, Jennifer Dobney, Elder Larry Grant, distinguished guests, and it's wonderful to see our friends from India as well join us for this very momentous occasion today. So good morning to everyone in Canada and good evening to those in India. Now, on behalf of the board of IC-IMPACTS, and I'm very glad Barj is with us today as the chair of the board, I'm really excited to sign this memorandum of understanding with Mitacs that will deepen our partnership, as John said, and help us fulfill our common goals, which there are many. For many years, IC-IMPACTS have worked tirelessly to provide graduate students with training, along with Mitacs as well, and research opportunities with both academia and industry. As you know, industry collaborations are a very strong part of what IC-IMPACTS does. And all through this, I think this is the exciting part today, working with India, is that we are trying to inculcate this global citizenry in our students, and that has been a cornerstone of a lot of our work. So this joining of hands is a natural partnership and will create significant synergies between our programs, which I'm very, very excited about. It will allow graduate students working in 70-odd Canada-India projects that IC-IMPACTS has launched and benefit from the mobility opportunities that John just mentioned. I think this would really be an added, very beneficial layer, I think, to our collaboration with India at the moment. Now, for those of you who are wondering perhaps how this would unfold, so let me give you an example of how I see this partnership will create these co-innovation opportunities in the Canada-India border. Give you an example. As we know, the burning of crop residue in Punjab and Haryana causes horrifying air quality problems in New Delhi. And John, you might recall the air quality issues that we have seen in New Delhi. So currently with IIT Delhi, IC-IMPACTS is launching a demonstration plant in Punjab that will convert rice stubble, which is actually burned by the farmers, into value-added cellulose that will fetch up to $10 a kilogram for the farmers. Clearly, this is a great incentive for the farmers to stop burning the stubble. Now think about the Canadian and Indian students that will work hand in hand under the auspices of this agreement with IC-IMPACTS and Mitacs agreement. These students will now get this valuable exposure to international environmental regulations, codes and standards in India, and how they will commercialize their innovation as we go forward. As our High Commissioner just said, This is a startup culture. India has one of the largest startup cultures in the world. And these kind of opportunities provide these added benefit, I think, and for these students to come up with these and commercialize these ideas through a co-innovation networks. So these students, we hope, will eventually launch these Canada-India startups and grow trade between our countries, which has been growing quite rapidly in the last 10 years. So on behalf of everyone at IC-IMPACTS, first and foremost, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to Secretary Renu Swarup from the Department of Biotechnology. They have been our partners for a number of years now. Also Secretary Ashutosh Sharma from the Department of Science and Technology in India for continuing to support IC-IMPACTS through matching funds for all projects. So 72 projects that we have launched with India. Each one of these 72 projects has matching fund from India, which we are very, very thankful for. And I'm also thankful to Dr. Sanjeev Varshney and Dr. Charu Agrawal from DST, and thank you for joining us today. Sincere thanks also to Professor Vijay Raghavan, who is the Principal Secretary, Principal Science Advisor to Government of India, and Scientific Secretary, Dr. Arabinda Mitra. Arabinda, I'm very happy to see you here today. Thank you so much for joining, and you have been a great stalwart and a great supporter of our programs in India, and we really appreciate your guidance and support. I would like to thank, of course, Dr. Alejandro Adam, President of NSERC, and our colleagues, Dr. Chris Kelly, Dr. Shweta Ganapathy, and Noel Burns for continuing to believe in IC-IMPACTS, and their support will never be forgotten for what they have done for IC-IMPACTS over the years. And last but not least, I would like to thank our partners, especially our host institution, University of British Columbia, and President Santa Ono. Santa, I'm very happy that you could join us today, and we look forward to many more years of IC-IMPACTS UBC hosting opportunities. So in closing, I would like to express my thanks to Dr. John Hepburn. Thank you, John. And the team at Mitacs and team at IC-IMPACTS for making this agreement a reality. With clearer goals and a strong commitment to work together, I look forward to many years of fruitful collaboration. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Nemi, for your kind remarks. And we're really delighted to embark on this partnership with you. Your work is so meaningful and so inspiring, and we're really excited to become part of that. I'm now pleased to invite Dr. Santa Ono, President and Vice Chancellor of the University of British Columbia and a member of Mitacs Board of Directors. We're so thrilled to have you here, Dr. Ono. Thank you very much for taking the time to be with us today.
Well, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I'm very pleased to be here today for the signing ceremony of the Memorandum of Understanding between IC-IMPACTS, the Research Center of Excellence, and Mitacs, two great organizations that I'm very, very proud to be affiliated with. I'd like to take the leadership, thank the leadership, and congratulate everyone at both Mitacs and IC-IMPACTS on this great achievement. As the host institution for both organizations, UBC is proud to support this partnership and will expand engagements between universities like UBC and businesses across Canada and India. And as you've heard, this has been a tremendous success for almost a decade. Both IC-IMPACTS and Mitacs are passionately committed to training world-class innovators. Mitacs has been a critical player in Canada's innovation ecosystem, acting as a strategic bridge between academia and industry, and IC-IMPACTS being the gateway for scientific collaboration between Canada and India. And I'm sure that this collaboration will take student training and mobility to a new level. And I'm thrilled that Canada is supporting Mitacs, and through that, IC-IMPACTS in an even greater way. We are in an era of mobility, and in recent years, the scale of student exchange has continued to grow. And I truly believe there's a lot more room for further expansion. It's critical that we realize just how important student mobility between nations really is. Mobility is the catalyst to facilitate and help solve challenges by leveraging top talent in Canadian and international post-secondary institutions. And I've seen the power of that collaboration firsthand. I've said before, and I'll say it again, if students have the initiative to leave their home university, take the challenge and travel thousands of kilometers to study abroad, to engage in research, to be involved in research and development, both in academia and industry, It demonstrates something about their grit and their ability to face different situations and to thrive. And it's something that will benefit them and strengthen them and empower them for the rest of their lives. So the impact of this kind of a relationship, this agreement today, is for not a year, not for 10 years, for the lives of those individuals who have been touched. Mobility is an incredibly powerful learning experience, and it is truly transformational with long-lasting effects. In fact, if you actually survey graduates of universities from 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, they will say that these transformational experiences, and often it's the study abroad or work integrated learning abroad opportunities, that they will never forget and have strengthened them as leaders, as scientists, and as entrepreneurs. It's important that we collectively embrace the view that universities work collaboratively with partners to catalyze transformative learning experiences in the global context, to shepherd our students on their voyages towards global citizenship and future leadership. The world needs this more than ever before. If you turn on the television and you see the divisiveness that exists, the contribution of this partnership isn't just about science and innovation, it's about bringing the world together for a common purpose. For this reason, the expansion of Mitacs Global Link Research Awards Mobility Program to India through IC-IMPACTS is of great importance to Canadian universities as we all seek to expand our global engagements in research, student education, cross-cultural understanding, and learning. And it's very important to me personally. The Mitacs IC-IMPACTS collaboration is of equal importance to Canadian industries, as they too will be given access to a larger platform to develop a globally connected and competitive workforce. Industries across Canada partner with leading educational organizations like UBC to develop innovative methodologies and to produce solutions that lead to enhanced business outcomes and value. Having our industry partners expand the reach of their business through bilateral collaborations in Canadian and Indian markets, for example, through IC-IMPACTS, community demonstrations projects would have huge value-added outcomes for them and for our universities. UBC welcomes this transformative initiative, and I'm glad to be a small part, of a collaboration which will provide funding opportunities for thousands of university students and assist them to gain international experience and skills during their studies. This is a historic event, and UBC is very proud to be part of it and to celebrate this special day with all of you. Thank you once again, John, Dr. Hepburn, Nemi, Dr. Bhantia, for your leadership and partnership. Congratulations.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Ono. You're a huge part, not a small part, but a huge part of Mitacs and of our success and our continued dedication to this pursuit. So thank you so much. We're really appreciative of your strong support, your inspiring words. I couldn't have said it better myself. You really captured the spirit of this partnership. So thank you very much. Now it's my pleasure to invite Ms. Jennifer Dobney, a good friend and supporter of Mitacs for many, many years. She's the Executive Director of International Education at Global Affairs Canada, here to deliver remarks on behalf of the Canadian government. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for being here.
Thank you very much, Lisa, and distinguished guests and invitees. I'm really pleased to be here today to represent Global Affairs Canada at this important MOU signing ceremony. The partnership between IC-IMPACTS and Mitacs will create more opportunities to collaborate and facilitate researchers and student mobility with India. And India is certainly a high priority partner for Canada. Canada and India have enjoyed long-standing bilateral relationships across a wide spectrum of areas, including science, technology, and innovation. Signed in 2007, the Canada-India Agreement for Scientific and Technological Cooperation is the cornerstone of our STI relationship. Areas of collaboration include health, environment, transportation, infrastructure, information and communications technologies, to name a few. The potential for collaboration in new and emerging fields of STI is growing. In recent months, Canada and India have been working together on vaccines and pandemic response and recovery. We have also worked to address important global challenges, from climate change to healthcare and food security, and are investing heavily in future innovation, such as in quantum computing and artificial intelligence. These are all areas where Canada is a global leader. Canada is an excellent partner for India in science, technology, and innovation. By working together, we can encourage greater innovation and increase support for our researchers, our scientists, and entrepreneurs to jointly tackle global challenges. Congratulations to IC-IMPACTS and Mitacs on the signing of this cooperation MOU today. Global Affairs Canada looks forward to continuing to work closely with you to further strengthen innovation and researcher ties between Canada and India. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. It's so inspiring to count on your support. We're always really pleased to be collaborating with you. Next, I'd like to welcome Mr. Anurag Krishna, the president of IC-IMPACT Student Engagement Committee and a PhD student in civil engineering at UBC.
Thank you. Firstly, warm greetings to His Excellency Ajay Bisaria ji, President Ono, leadership of both the organizations, and all the invited guests. I would like to start by thanking the IC-IMPACTS and Mitacs for having me here. I view this great partnership between the two organizations from the perspective of a student. Regarding me, I earned my bachelor's in civil engineering from IIT Dhanbad in the province of Jharkhand in India. From my experience during undergraduate days, I can affirmatively say that Global Link Research Initiative of Mitacs has been one of the most sought after research opportunities abroad among the IIT fraternity. Traveling from India to Canada in August 2019 to do a full-time research was one of the biggest decisions of my life, and which I know will have a long-lasting impact on my academic career. I realized that it is essential to select a research topic that sparks your interest and to have a mentor who can support you both academically and through the transformation from an undergraduate degree into a graduate program. So Canadian universities and UBC in particular provide multiple opportunities for innovative research and interdisciplinary collaboration. Being involved with IC-IMPACTS for the past 2 years, my thought process has broadened enough so as to include aspects of knowledge transformation and community participation in the research questions, since community is the end user for research. It is also essential for graduate researchers to take some time to render their service to the academic community, university leadership, and society. Over the past 2 years, I have learned many lessons through my professional and voluntary engagements on various committees and societies. Being involved with this MOU, I am now on the other side of the table. So as president of the Student Engagement Committee, I express my utmost pleasure on this partnership. Even during COVID, the weekly online seminar series initiative by the SEC continued to gather enthusiastic participation from across the globe, which also finds a mention in our annual report for the year 2020-21. The Student Engagement Committee will offer its full support to the incoming researchers for their mobility and would endeavor to make their research experience a pleasant one. Having done my undergraduate studies in India and finally pursuing a doctoral degree in Canada, this partnership in particular is quite exciting for me. My advice to the incoming researchers would be to make optimum use of their precious time here. This would be a time to foster long-lasting connections and intellectual discussions. I would like to conclude by congratulating Dr. Banthia and Dr. Hepburn on this collaboration. The Student Engagement Committee is quite enthusiastic about the role it will be playing in this partnership in the days to come. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mr. Krishna, for sharing your experience and your inspiring message. I'm so pleased to hear that our program has been influential in your life and in the lives of some of your colleagues. So that really warms the heart to see that there's students that have benefited and are continuing to benefit from our efforts. Thank you very much. Without further ado, it's my great pleasure to invite Dr. Nemi Banthia and Dr. John Hepburn to officially sign the Memorandum of Understanding between IC-IMPACTS and Mitacs. So we'll give a little time to sign, and then we're going to hold it up and do a group photo. So if we could have all of the speakers in the photo, we would love to do a group shot, please.
Here it is. Thank you.
One moment, they're just, the names are moving around on my screen. One moment.
Okay. Thank you very much.
First handshake.
Yes, I know.
Wow, how exciting to be able to commemorate it with a real handshake. That is wonderful.
We'll go out immediately and wash our hands. We'll be okay.
Excellent. Well, this has been a really heartwarming event, very momentous. Thank you so much to everyone for having attended. It's time to conclude the event. Today's signing marks the beginning of a future filled with collaboration, economic development, and innovation. So thank you again to all of our partners and to the teams at IC-IMPACTS and Mitacs who have put so much effort into making this event possible. Thank you also to our esteemed guests and speakers and everyone that joined us today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for being here with us to share in our excitement for this historic signing.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a wonderful day.
Bye now.
And good night to your friends in India.
Goodbye.